Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lawrence Zarian and Ashley Tisdale.
And the audience goes nuts. Let's hear it again for Ashley Tisdale.
Hello.
Let me start off by saying I am such a fan of yours.
Oh, thank you so much.
I've been in this business for about 20 years. And as a lifestyle expert, I'm always watching to see who's coming along, who's going to stay, who's going to go, and the impression people leave on this business. And there's a list of names of people that have come and make different choices. Mm-hmm. But you've made so many strong choices. So at the top, I want to say it is such a pleasure to be here sitting with you.
Thank you so much for saying that.
I really am a fan because you really are amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so sweet.
Right? Don't you think? I think that people in the Hollywood eye have such an important choice to make, and you've made so many good choices. And a brand new choice for you is this wonderful new cosmetic line called Illuminate.
Yeah.
Tell me the brainchild behind all of this.
Yeah, well, I've been in the business since I was 3 years old, so I never want to be the one that comes and goes just because I've known it my whole life. But from when I was younger, I was a huge fan of Jessica Simpson. And I love what she did with what she was kind of someone who you would never expect to build the company that she's built. And I always kind of knew early on, I was like, there's something special about her. I just could see that she was going to do more. And, friends would be like, really? You look up to Jessica Simpson? I'm like, I'm telling you, she's a lot smarter than what people think. And so to see what she's done, I've just always kind of admired that. And with, acting, I love being an actress. Acting's my number one, of course. But I think for me, I wasn't being creatively fulfilled at the end of the night just because I was waiting for my next job. And that's kind of at the whim of other people. And so I got into production and then I, creative director of Signorelli and then recently Illuminate
Writer,
Cosmetics.
producer, director, executive producer.
Not directing.
Okay.
I can't handle that one.
But let me ask you this. At 3 years old, what was that moment that you recall I want to be in the business? What were you doing? Do you remember what sparked that? I want to entertain.
No, I was just found in a shopping mall. By my manager, who's still my manager today. He found
all these young girls are now running out to the mall saying, here's my moment, here's my moment.
Don't trust people sometimes. But it just so happened that he was at the mall and he gave my mom the business card and thought I was cute for commercials. And my first commercial was a JCPenney commercial. And then I booked 7 commercials after that. So my parents just kind of took it I guess she's
it's a sign.
To
it's
do
the
this.
universe telling you something.
And I just, from an early age, I just have always been the one who has been the driving force. My parents really wanted me to have a normal childhood. I went to school my whole life. I went to regular high school and everything. But yeah, I would see something and I'm like, I have to do that. And it was I remember specifically the first thing was Les Miserables on Broadway. And I was like, I've got to do that. And I did the national tour. I never really sang before, but it was just when I put my mind to something, it's just I love it. So that's kind of how Illuminate happened. I was just, for me, I've worked with so many amazing makeup artists and I just personally love makeup myself. But working with other people, you learn tips and everything, but I'm someone who loves to do things on my own. I like to be able to be I can do that myself. And so I watched a lot of YouTubers. That's where I learned a lot of my makeup from.
I hear that's what the kids are doing now.
And that's what I
YouTube.
do.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where Illuminate came from. 2 years ago, it took 2 years to make, it takes a year to make lipstick. Did not know that, but learned that. And so it's been 2 years in development and I met with BH Cosmetics, who's my partner. And the minute that I met with BH, I met Reed and he's the one who helped with everything. And he had actually worked on 2 lines prior that were I was huge fans of. And so the fact that usually in meetings, I'm like, if something kind of clicks, I'm like, oh, this is something good. And so the fact that we had that in common with each other, I was just like, okay, I'm at the right place. This is the right path, So that's where Illuminate kind of came from.
So what is the concept behind Illuminate? Because I know what Illuminate means. Does that relate to the product line?
I think for me, I feel like, makeup isn't supposed to just makeup isn't supposed to just like cover your natural
Cake
beauty.
on, right.
Yeah, it's not it's supposed to be caked on. It's supposed to enhance your beauty. And I think it's supposed to illuminate you. So that's where the title came from. And I'm really into, kind of like the glowy, beachy vibes. And I feel like that's what my makeup line really kind of, is, everything from Beach Goddess, which is a palette, and Night Goddess is a palette, to like the names of everything. Like
Give us some more names.
there's Maui, which is actually named after my dog. There's an eyeshadow named Maui. All the eyeshadows are named after islands. And then there's the lip glosses are named after like Bonfire, Aloha, the cream cheek and lip tints are named after desserts on vacation. So, and like also like drinks like rosé, and then there's peaches and cream. And so that's kind of, it's like little my brainchild, my brainchild over here.
So take a vacation and put on some makeup. Illuminate.
Yes. Or just look like you're always on vacation, which is good.
That's such a great tip, for a lot of girls and women that don't have time to get away. I always say, if you don't have the time, still look like you're rested and relaxed.
Yes.
There's so many different product lines out there. I mean, so many people are doing product lines. What makes your line different than other people's?
I think the quality of the makeup and also the price. For me, everything is under $20, and so it's affordable. And that was a big thing. BH Cosmetics is so great at doing that, but also keeping the quality really great. And, I was just like, I know my fans and I know what my audience is capable of. And I don't want to be that person that's like, buy my products and spend a lot of money. It's just like, to me, I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. And it's just not. Also with makeup, I'm like, okay, it's great to have to spend money on like a great moisturizer and great foundation. But when it comes to eyeshadows and like blushes, I know I just like to use something and then it's just like, oh gosh, like I've already used it up. I need to get some more. You want to kind of have a fresh pack, and it's like to spend so much money on that stuff seems a little crazy. So it was really just for me, I think the pricing is different.
So if we were going to, with our intimate group here, if we were going to open up your purse, what are the 3 most important makeup items you always have in your purse at all times?
Oh, well, definitely my palette, because my palette has everything in it. It has contour, blush, and highlighter, and eyeshadows. So I created it for the girl on the go because I'm always on the go, and I never really have time to just if I'm going out to, dinner with my girlfriends or something and I'm out during the day working, it's like, okay, I have like a couple minutes, and I usually just go off of what I have during the day and just build like a smoky eye. So you have that. I have obviously lip gloss. You always need a good lip gloss. And my cream.
All the girls are like, lip gloss.
Yes. And the cream cheek and lip tint, it's so amazing because it's really lightweight and you can actually put on your lips. I use it as a base for my lips before my lip gloss. So it's kind of, it creates a good base color underneath.
You are doing so many things,
Yeah.
from an actress
Yeah.
to producing. Now you have a brand new website as well. What is
Yeah.
the website? And I love the title, Hot Mess.
The Hot Mess, yeah.
Hot Mess. No, but it's not H-O-T. It's H-A-U-T-E, like oat. So you see what she did there?
It's a
Oat.
play on words.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's actually, it's a year old. It's so crazy because it feels like just yesterday that we, launched it. I do have a lot of stuff going on, but I love it. I'm finally feeling creatively fulfilled, and I get to go to sleep at night being like, I've worked my butt off today. So it's great though. I mean, the Hot Mess was such an exciting project just because I really wanted a site where, we all strive to be perfect. And I think with Instagram and Pinterest, you see all these beautiful pictures all the time and you can strive to be that all times, but it's just not really realistic. And there are so many moments in my life from, even just like, I remember telling my husband when we first started dating, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm such a hot mess right now. Like, if only you saw me at my best. And he was like, but I love you for that. Like, the fact, like, that's what I just started to be like, oh, I am a hot mess, and that's okay. Like, it's just kind of accepting that and being okay with it. There's times where I've had some embarrassing things happen to me on red carpets, and instead of like being upset about it, I just embrace it and I just laugh at it. And I think that that's like what life is all about.
That's also why so many people love you and so many young girls follow you as an inspiration. Because look, the reality is stuff happens. People fall, we go down, we go boom. And you've always made it look sort of effortless, like you're living in your life. Like, live in the moment, live your life, and just make lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah. I mean, it took a while. I mean, I was I still have that perfectionist thing in me, but when I was younger, I was such a perfectionist. And then finally I was just like, I can't do that anymore. Like, it's just, it's just not real. And I just like to laugh at myself too much. And so I just had to finally be like, oh my gosh, like it's just too funny. When something happens, I just laugh at it. And it's the best way
Okay,
to
so
get
let me
over
ask you this. We're in this world of social media. It's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's Snapchat. And there's so many young girls that are looking at everything they're not. Mm-hmm. And I think it's so scary and frightening for them because a girl that's a size 10, 12, 14, wants to be the size 2. What advice would you give to a young girl wanting to be everything else but who she is?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I mean, I guess I would say that like, just love who you are. I mean, that's really easy to say, but I think
How did you really find that core inside to love who you are? Because every girl has a journey and you're fully getting older and embracing that. What steps did you take?
I mean, I think from a very it's weird because from a very young age, I've always known what I've wanted. I've known myself very I think even, I don't know. I think it was really different because I knew who I was. And so I never kind of went through the phase of like not knowing who I was, but I did go through the phase of bad relationships, when I was younger, dating people and it not going well and finally realizing that you literally have to love yourself before you can love someone else. And I think it was just one moment in my life. I don't know when that comes like to anybody, but I think it really is knowing that you literally have to love yourself first before you can love anyone else, because then you wouldn't allow things to happen a certain way. And I think, in relationships, we can always blame someone else, but it's like we also are kind of allowing it in some ways. So I don't know, I feel like it's just like I've had that moment years ago and I guess I just like discovered that, but I don't know how to I'm not great at advice on that. I think that.
Well, but you're also living it though. You're living the advice. And so many young girls are looking at television, they're looking at film, they're looking in the magazines, and they're seeing all these Instagram stars, and they want to be like them. And
yeah.
I always say, you are like a couture dress. A couture dress is one dress for one night for one event. And I always say that everybody's couture. You're a one person, one body, one lifetime. Mm-hmm. It's easier said than done. But for young girls to follow you, because you lead by example, celebrate who you are and stop trying to be them.
Yeah, I think it's the uniqueness of who you are. And that's what it is. It's is that knowing that, you are one person and it's just like that's unique, that makes you you. And that's what's so beautiful about you. It's not about being someone else. And I also think, what you were talking about with sizing and stuff, it's just like I'm someone who loves to work out, and I feel like no matter what, as long as you try to be healthy and work out and are active, no matter what, with a dance or anything, I feel like that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what size you are. It just matters that you are living a healthy life.
I also say, we spend, since I'm a little older than you, there was a world where you didn't have your cell phone and you didn't look at the iPhone and you didn't look at your social media things. I always say now, put the phone down instead of looking down, look up.
Yeah.
Because we're missing the world and the world goes by so fast. Mm-hmm. And there's so many different things that we get to do in the world. And you are playing a character in your brand new film with Jason Biggs that's a little bit of a departure from some of the parts that you've played. Share with the audience. Yeah, it's a slight stretch.
Real big departure.
Yeah, share with the audience the title of the film and the new role.
Yeah, it's called Amateur Night, and I play Fallon, and she's one of the prostitutes in the movie. So
yes, she said prostitutes in the film.
It's a really funny film. It is rated R, but it was based off of the director, his real life. It's a true story, and how when he first came out to Joey Dario and Lisa, both directors and married, when they came out to LA, he could not get a job. And so his wife was pregnant. She's like, I'll find you a job. And so she found him something on Craigslist that was for driving. And she was like, this is the easiest thing to do. Just drive. and you just have to drive people. And then he found out he was driving prostitutes for 10 months. So in this movie, it's all in one night and what happened in the 10 months that he was around it. It's pretty crazy.
So what went in it for you to embody this character and fully commit?
Yeah, I mean, I think what I loved about it was that it was so different. Over the last 3 years, before I was very careful because I knew I had such a younger audience, and I was just like, oh gosh, I don't want to do something that they can't watch. Like I was very into taking care of like who my fans were. But then finally I was just like, wait, like I'm not challenging myself. Like I'm not stepping out of my comfort zone. And I was very comfortable in that area. And so finally I was just like, you know what? I need to just kind of go for it and make myself uncomfortable. And I think the first thing out of that was Sons of Anarchy. And then, and then I think it just
By the
kept
way,
on
so
doing.
good.
Oh, thank you.
So good.
Thanks. And so I just, also my audience is a lot older now. I think you guys are like 20 years old because it's been 10 years since the High School Musical movie. But I think for me, it was just, I loved the role, and she was just such a fun character to play. And she, I think when I got she was this rocker chick, and her name is Fallon. And Joey would just be like, yeah, she just was this rocker chick. She looked like she was out all night partying and listening to music. And so the first person I think of just in my head to kind of get into a rocker chick mode is Kesha. So I just listened to Kesha music every single morning before work. And I just didn't care what I looked like, and just had smoky eyes and stuff. And it was just so different from who I am. So I just had a lot of fun with it.
The thing that I admire about you is you really acknowledged your fans. You started on Disney, and there's, I think, a responsibility for someone that has an audience that grows up with them.
Yeah.
Was that something your parents instilled in you, to stay loyal to your fans, to carry them through with you in your career? Or is that something you just decided you wanted to do?
I think I just decided. I think my parents instilled in me loyalty. I think I'm a very loyal person. I've been with my manager since I was 3 years old, so I think that kind of shows that. And I just, I that's a big thing for me. Loyalty and respect is such, for my relationships, that's a huge thing. So I think that with my relationship with my fans, I just wanted to, I wanted to be able to, kind of go with them and grow with them. So I feel like...
and it's a lovely transition. You're basically holding your fans' hands as you take on this other part.
Yeah,
so
instead of shocking them.
No. So you're basically saying, I love you, I respect you, I celebrate you as you have celebrated me. But buckle up.
Yeah.
Because Ashley's going for a different ride in a cab.
Yeah.
And I'm playing a prostitute named Fallon.
And I'm 30, so I can now do that. Yeah.
Now, for a young girl that really wants to get into the entertainment business, that really feels it and wants it, what sort of tips would you give?
Well, first off, never give up, because that's going to be the hardest thing. I think that, this business is, I think 80% rejection. I've been in it so long. There's been so many things that I wanted to get, I didn't get. But you literally
what's one part that you wanted to get that you didn't get? Is there something that you're like, boy, look, life plays itself out the way it's supposed to, but is that one part I wish I would have?
Well, what's funny is that I auditioned for a lot of Disney Channel movies before the one that I got. I auditioned for almost all of them. Pretty much. And I never
Ashley's
got the job.
back. Ashley's back.
I never got the job. And I was just it literally made me so upset that I actually stopped going out for Disney for 3 years. And I was doing a network TV shows, pilots, that didn't get picked up. And I finally, this one show came in, which was The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. And I was just oh, I don't know. And it was the first audition back into Disney, because I was just they never hire me. Why do I do this? And even for High School Musical, they weren't, it wasn't an automatic, oh, she's on our show, we should give her, this role. I think they normally do. I just was not the one that they would normally do that for, I guess. But I just went in there and I fought for the role. And yeah, I mean, there were so many movies before then that I wanted that I didn't get. And I think life just is obviously meant to happen the way it has, because it's just so crazy that the movie I do get is such a huge movie, and people I was just this is awesome. I got this one out of all the ones I tried for, this is the one.
Did you ever think that was going to be as big as it was?
No. I mean, I think that was like the beauty of it was that, we weren't it wasn't like a franchise, like a book franchise. And like, we were trying to fulfill like what the fans, thought and dreamt of. This was like purely something that was just an idea. We went in, we did it, and nobody thought it was going to be anything. People were just like, this is going to be weird because it's a musical, and there hadn't been musicals in a long time. So, I mean, we just had so much fun, and so we never thought it was going to be like that.
And out of that, you still very good friends with Vanessa.
Yeah. I'm still really good friends with all of them. I haven't seen Zach in a while, but yeah.
He's doing films with his shirt off quite a bit.
I know. I've realized that.
Believe me, if I had that body, I'd be sitting here with my shirt off. Yeah. I don't, so I'm wearing double layers.
That is so funny. Yeah.
So do you feel?
But for advice for
Yes.
someone, I would just say never give up, and I would say just know that you're going to work really hard, because if you want to do something, you just have to. I take tons of acting classes and vocal, coaches, and I've done it all. So I think that if you really are passionate about anything, you just have to know it comes with hard work and just stay consistent.
I also say this, I started as an actor 20 years ago, and I kept auditioning and auditioning and auditioning, and I didn't book a thing. But then somehow a fashion opportunity came up. I pitched myself. I was modeling. I pitched myself, and something took off. So when people ever ask me my advice, I always say, you can still be in the business, but it might not be the place that you want, because the business will tell you whether you're the right person for the job.
It's so true.
It's very clear on whether the business wants you in that moment. If your passion is to be an actor, make sure that you're doing everything to pay your bills, pay your livelihood, because when you go in for that audition, it's that you want the part, not that you need the part to pay for your life.
And also, it's just like with social media, and I think it's just changed for everybody a lot. I think that, back in the day, there was tons of opportunities to do what I'm doing now years ago. But for me, I was just like so scared, because back then it was just like acting, like if you were an actress, like it's just acting. And then we were all breaking the mold by singing too at the same time, because that was, it was natural for us to sing because we came from a musical. So it was just like, we were kind of breaking that a little bit, but it was always like, that's your lane, stay in it. And now I think with everything going on, like now you can do a lot more and people accept you for doing a lot more.
I'm going to have some of your fans ask some questions.
Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
Thank you for being such a positive role model, by the way.
Oh, thank you so
Especially
much.
for us women.
Thank you.
I had a quick question as far as the makeup. I have hyperpigmentation. Will you have like some sort of like line where it'll cover up any marks?
I mean, I definitely. Oh, you mean foundation wise? Yeah. I'm not doing skin. No, not right now. It's more just eyeshadow, blushes. We have stuff coming out in the fall. Yeah, that's a whole nother category I haven't gotten into, but maybe in the future.
All right, that's one. Who has another question over here? What about this young lady here? Oh, yeah, this one right here in the front.
Hey, that was also inspiring. I wanted to know, what are some of your future goals for Illuminate? Are you going to be expanding to different product lines or coming out with new products?
Yeah, definitely new products in the fall. I can't mention yet, but it's in development. And yeah, I mean, I guess my goal is that I think for people, I'm super aware of myself. And I think that I know it's hard for people to believe that like I'm doing makeup, that I have a makeup line. But I think that once they try it, and they see how great it is, because literally I work with makeup artists all the time. I just did a pilot for a spinoff, and I came in, I was like, oh, I'd love if you could use my makeup, not knowing if she was like into it. And she was just like, oh my gosh, she's like, your eyeshadows blend so amazing. And she was fully surprised. And so I know that's like the reaction that I'm getting.
Were you sitting there like, I know?
Like, no, I totally, like, I'm like, this is really good stuff. I know it's good stuff. Like, I wouldn't put out anything else, but I think that that's the normal reaction when you hear that I'm doing this or that I have this line. And so I'm hoping that the more people use it, the more people talk about it and they go, wow, this is really amazing. And it's all under $20 and this is awesome. And, that they love it. Like, I really, this is for me, from the packaging to everything. It feels like a piece of me. So it's like, makes me feel a little bit vulnerable, but I'm really proud of it. And I hope everybody likes it.
Also, your authenticity is very clear. Like, this is a product that comes from your heart. You're not selling something, you're giving something.
Yeah, no, this is not, with anything that I do, I fear that people think I'm like slapping my name on something. And I'm like, if they only knew that I don't do that at all, because that's just not in my nature. I'm a hard worker. I've just have always been since the age of 3. And so for me, it's like when I'm putting my name on something, it's me 100%. Like I don't, it's like I have to have, it's all of me. So I always want people to know this is like not an endorsement. This is not something like that. This is actually coming from me.
And we have one more question. The pretty girl all the way in the back. Ask us your question quickly, please.
Awesome. It's good to be here with you. The entertainment industry and retail industry are totally different worlds, and I was wondering what the biggest challenge has been for you.
Wow. Well, the biggest challenge is how fast the retail is. Yeah. That's the biggest challenge for me. With makeup, makeup line takes a while to develop. Like I said, it takes a year to make a lipstick. And so, choosing the colors, choosing like all of that stuff, and then getting into development, that's like, it's great because then I'm able to do other things. I'm a creative director of Signorelli. And so with that, it's like a whole nother situation. Like I'm have a production company at Warner Horizon. I'm acting, I have my makeup line, and then that I literally have to, and that business is so fast. I mean, it's the fastest, like we're already in Christmas. We're already in Christmas.
I so want to be your best friend.
Like,
I really do. I want to hitch myself to your wagon because you're doing everything.
I am doing everything. And it's like, it is hard. It's challenging because I'm trying to juggle everything. But the thing is that I have amazing people that I work with. So, my sister helps run my production company, and I have a team of people over there. And then, the Hot Mess, a lot of the Hot Mess is contributors. So that's you guys like writing on the Hot Mess, that you guys contribute your stuff, which is amazing. So it's like, it's got a team there. And then I have, my makeup team. So I have great people I work with. So it's not just all on my shoulders, but, the final say is on my shoulders. So I'm like constantly like, but yeah, the fashion business, whole other thing. I had no idea how fast that was. I mean, they come over mornings and I'm like signing off on things before I go somewhere else. It's so crazy.
This is what's so great about you. You live an authentic life, and what you just recapped is something that everyone can take home with them. Surround yourself with amazing people, friends, family, people that love and celebrate everything about you. That's what this world needs. People that support you, number one. Number two, don't give up.
Yeah.
You have to put in the hard work. And number three, from what I've gathered, just be authentic and be true to who you are.
No, it's so true. I mean, all of those things. I think that, my family has been amazing, and I have such a great support system with them. And my friends are really great. There's obviously been friends in the past that I was just like, oh, I don't know if they have the best intentions, but they, I think it's true. You have to surround yourself with amazing people.
Well, your key intention today was to illuminate everyone's life, all the girls in the world, to illuminate, sparkle, and shine. So whoever wants to go to Illuminate, how do they find it?
IlluminateCosmetics.com.
And for everybody to find you on social media, how do they follow you?
Oh, man. I think at Ashley Tisdale is my Twitter. It's Ashley Tisdale for Instagram and Ashley M. Tisdale for Snapchat.
And mine is at Lawrence Zarian for all your daily style updates. Once again, put your hands together for someone that talks the talk and walks the walk, Ashley Tisdale.
Thank you.